Kendo Podcast episode 153. In this episode, I want to talk about Kendo of High Grade Holders by Katsuhiko Tani sensei. Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from KendoGuide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit KendoGuide.com for more Kendo information and how to support KendoGuide.com. Welcome to Kendo Podcast episode 153. Okay, this is about Kendo of High Grade Holders, which is featured articles by Kendo. What is it that? What is it called? Kendo Jidan Magazine. I had numbers. I don't know where it went. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Which is the April 2019 issues, number 564. It's a Kendo Jidai. Okay, and in the featured articles, there are several senseis talking about Kendo of high grade holders, but I picked Tani sensei's article. Now, it's very so this article consists of mainly Ken no Riho. Okay, so what is a Ken no Riho? That is the principles of the katana. Katana is Japanese sword. All right, so you have to understand what riho, okay, the principles of the katana is. Now, riho can categorized into riho consists of three elements, which is Toho, T-O-H-O, Toho, which means sword control. So you, if you can maneuver your shinai well. And Shimpo, this means body movements, body control. Okay? And another Shimpo, this means mind control, basically your mind. So you have to know how to control your own mind. Okay, so Shimpo and Shimpo sounds exactly the same, but they consist of different kanjis. Okay, so that's why it's very complicated. But if you remember, it's sword control, body movements, and mind control. Okay, your mind control. Right? So you have to understand. So you have to practice and then practice Kendo to understand Ken no Riho, which is the principles of the sword, which consists of Toho, sword control, Shimpo, body movements or body control, and another Shimpo, which is how to deal with your own mind or mind control. Okay, so that is one. You have to understand why you're training to understand Ken no Riho. And next step is, do you understand the basics? Now, when he was one of the judging panel for 6th Dan exam, he found some didn't wear keikogi and hakama correctly. Okay, that is the foundation of Kendo, and they didn't even take care of their own shinai. Shinai is your sword. Okay, it's directly related to Ken no Riho. We said Toho, which is sword control, sword maneuver. But if you don't take care of your sword, it doesn't matter how well you use it, you're gonna maybe your sword will break in the middle of the fight, right? So that is even before start your tachiai. Tachiai is kind of shiai, but no one judges you, no one referees you, kote or men, right? No one tells you which is valid cut. So, that is mainly it's before even kendo starts. Put your keikogi hakama, doan, tareo, menon, everything correctly, and then take care of shinai. And even for 6th dan or above, we need to thoroughly train suburi and kiri kaeshi, following the kendo basics. Okay, thoroughly we gotta train those. Okay, so we still talk about the basic of kendo. Now, and also this is very important, I think, for higher, if you're going for higher grade. Are you facing your opponent with the dan proper kurai? Okay, dan proper. So if you're going for 6th dan, do you have the proper kurai for 6th dan? So kurai, 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 that means kind of quality. Okay, a quality. So do you have dan proper quality, kendo quality? Okay, are you executing waza correctly? Waza means strikes and datotsu strikes and everything. So even simple strike, main strike, single main strike is included in waza. Okay, not complicated stuff, techniques. We all call this waza. Okay, so are you executing waza correctly based on the kendo basics? Okay, do you know when you are executing your waza, or at what situation you are executing waza? You should be executing your waza at the right time, at the right moment, right? So we need to know exactly when to execute, which is when we have an opportunity. So it's very important if you're looking at 6th dan, 7th dan. We should know these things, or at least we know the concept of those. So what is high kurai? Kurai is quality, as I explained. What is it? So Tani sensei defined it. So when a person who has a higher kurai than maybe his or her opponent, their strike is executed in a smooth sequence of seme, tame, opportunity, and commitment. Okay, as you know, seme is S-E-M-E. Seme is pressure, right? Tame, T-A-M-E, kind of it's holding the seme. So increasing the pressure by holding it. Like elastic band, you stretch elastic band. As soon as you stretch elastic band, you have pressure, but you hold it a little more to increase the tension between you and your opponent. And then at the right opportunity or right moment, you execute your strike or thrust with stemi or commitment. Stemi is S-U-T-E-M-I, su-te-mi, simply translated into commitment. Okay, so it's commitment. So if you have this sequence of your strike very smooth, if you have those smooth sequence of these elements, smoother than your opponent, you have higher quality kurai than your opponent. Okay, so he defines kurai like that. Okay, so and also he talks about the meaning of passing the exam. Okay, so passing doesn't mean you are already at that level. For some people, probably you know it's correct, but for example, uh, passing means if you're going for sixth dan, for example, it means you should, no, you showed, you have completed fifth dan training. So now you are allowed to start sixth dan training. So that's what passing sixth dan exam means. So you showed you have completed whatever you've been doing at fifth dan level. Now, okay, now you're ready. You have completed. You finished it. Well done. You are now allowed to go for sixth dan training. So that's what it means. It doesn't mean you already have sixth dan abilities. So that's what Tani sensei's definition. I think I probably you can agree with that. As, at some degree, if you cannot agree fully, you can probably agree at some degree. Okay, so and also he said, some people always ask him what kind of training I should do for maybe a sixth dan exam or seventh dan exam or eighth dan exam. But he thinks they're not really different. They're not really particular way to train for sixth dan or for seventh dan or for eighth dan. Even if there's a difference in training method, it's a different. If there's a difference, probably it is a degree of understanding the basics and the principles of Kendo. So, if you show or I understand the basics and principles of Kendo, at sixth dan level you can pass sixth dan, or seventh dan level you can pass seventh dan. So there's no such method to train for the certain dan exam, but it's the degree changes. So it's really difficult for us to show how much we understand those principles of Kendo. All right, and if we can show that, okay, I understand this, the principles of Kendo, then you pass. Very vague, but I think it's very true too. Now, for to do so, right, to get to the certain level, it is important to review objectively our Kendo on daily basis. But it is very hard to see ourselves objectively, even at watching video. You really need a shisho, okay, shisho, master, your own master of Kendo. Okay, so that is because they can they can show you the right path. All right, so that is why it's very important to have one certain sensei, so they can see your improvement as well, right? So that's why it is important. If you go to some other sensei, this time this sensei, this time that sensei, and next time that sensei, they don't know your progression, how much you improve your Kendo. So if you have one sensei, you go and see him. If he is not at your dojo, or she is not at your dojo, go and see them. Okay, maybe once a month, or maybe once every 2 months, maybe. As much as you can, go and see them so they know your improvement. Okay, so what is Kendo training? He said it is about scraping off unnecessary things from your Kendo. Okay, so it is about scraping off. So you're gonna be leaner and leaner. So this will take us to the beginning of this article. train to execute strikes following the basic of Kendo. Basic of Kendo is very simple. We have Shimpo, Toho, Shimpo, and Shimpo, right? So katana, sword control, body movements, body control, and dealing with your own mind control. You have those, and we have basics of those, right? And basic is very simple. Because we have an opponent, we make it too complicated. But simple Kendo movements is very simple. That's why 8th Dan sensei, their Kendo, instant sensei's Kendo looks so simple because they don't have anything unnecessary. Okay, it's maybe movements and maybe the way they think. They don't think, I wanna strike, or I wanna get a valid cut, or I don't wanna get hit. They don't think like that. Maybe I don't know how they're thinking, so I'm not too sure. But if we make it simple, it's unnecessary, isn't it? Thinking about the future, you have to live in the moment. And okay, I'm set, I'm ready, and I see an opportunity. Let's go. Simple as that. Right? I'm talking about this like this, but I don't think I can do it yet. But of course, everyone try to find, the way to express that through their own Kendo, right? So to do so, we do really need to understand the principles of a katana, like I said, and it is a number one thing we really have to have is an ideal sensei, ideal Kendo. You visualize a sensei whose Kendo is your ideal. So you have to have one ideal, maybe two ideal Kendo. So you have to have a goal visually, and I want to do Kendo like that, and then you strive to close to that Kendo. Is that right? To train Kendo so you can become like your ideal sensei. Okay, so this is very important. I hope I told you as simple as possible, like 8th Dan sensei's Kendo. Basically, we always say it's a circle. We always go back to the basics. We go back to where we start, but at a different level. So one time I still remember Alex Bennett sensei was talking, and back then I was that was in New Zealand. He was talking to someone else, and then someone says, "Oh, it's in a circle, isn't it? We always go back to the basics." And then he said, "No. Some sensei told him that it's a spiral. It's circle, but it comes back to the basic at the different level. So it's a spiral going up, hopefully going up. We don't want to go down, but sometimes it's necessary to go back down and then come back up. So I think it's very important for everyone to understand this. And Sato Makoto sensei, who invented suri-kaburi, if you're not familiar with the term, I have some videos introducing that, so I'll make sure I have links to those videos. But he said, if you are ready, your back, your Kendo, your body will be built into that grade. So for example, he can tell, someone is going to make it to 8th Dan because his body is like built like 8th Dan sensei. So he apparently your body will be built into such state, so they can tell, oh man, kind of your muscles, your body shape will become at that level too. I thought that was very interesting, So I hopefully this can help you with your Kendo study. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast. I would like to send special thanks to patrons for their constant support through patreons.com/Kendo For Life.